At 65, I've outlived my father. That realization hits different. You start measuring time in what's left, not what's past. Each day becomes a step closer to the unknown, and you just want to make the most of it. When I got the message about Chris Burkard Storytelling Workshop in Moab, I didn't hesitate. It sounded like exactly what I needed. A reset, a chance to learn from someone who built a life out of stories and light. I told myself it was about improving my photography, but maybe it was something deeper. I've spent most of my life telling stories through medicine. In the ICU, every patient, every family, a new chapter. Triumph, loss, love, endurance. Validation came every day in small miracles and impossible goodbyes. But when I stepped away from the hospital after 30 years of fighting for patients and for safety, I found myself wondering who I was without that purpose. And maybe that's why I'm here. To remember what story I'm still meant to tell. Before the workshop began, I drove up to Dead Horse Point before sunrise. The desert is cold at night, quiet. The kind of quiet that makes you hear, well, your own thoughts. The first light spilled across the canyon like liquid fire, and for a moment it felt like standing at the edge of time. I've seen a lot of sunrises in my life, some from hospital windows, some after long nights hoping a patient would make it till morning. But this one was different. This one wasn't about saving anyone. It was just about being here, alive. When I rolled into town, I had already rented a mountain bike. It sat there for a day, waiting. And finally, I decided to take it out on the trails that overlook the canyons, alone. Probably a stupid move, but something in me said, do it anyway. It took courage just to start pedaling. Every turn looked steeper than the last, the drop-offs endless. Fear sat right beside me, but so did determination. No one else was out there, just me, the wind, and the canyon breathing below. And somewhere between fear and laughter, I realized I wasn't trying to prove anything. I was just reminding myself that I could still try. That was a ton of fun. Get my route back to the hotel. I'm definitely doing that again. That was so cool. So cool. When class started, I looked around. I was easily the oldest in the room. Everyone else had their whole lives ahead of them, trying to figure out how to turn passion into livelihood. Chris looked at me and asked, "Why do you want more people to see your work? Is it validation you're looking for?" Wow, that question landed harder than I expected. Validation. After decades in medicine, shouldn't that box already be checked? But maybe he was right. Maybe what I was really looking for wasn't validation of success, but of worth. A reminder that what I do still matters for my kids, for my grandkids, and maybe for me.
No sucking.
One evening, we off-roaded and loaded into the back of trucks, driving deep into the desert. Sketchy Andy, one of those fearless souls, and his partner Amy led the charge. Ladders, fuel tanks, gear, pure chaos.
This is a part of the scene. Hey guys, it's just the hard part's gonna be this part here.
Yeah, just step back.
We climbed toward a massive rock face with an open arch above it. The younger ones moved fast, fearless, while I, moved carefully, more cautious. Joel offered to take my pack. Chris asked if I was all right, and for the first time, I felt my age.
This is really cool. Really cool. You gotta get the whole Burkard experience, I guess.
Andy set up a high line across the arch, and Amy showed off her acrobatic skills. A circus-like atmosphere filled the cavernous walls, and when night fell, the cave erupted with light. Amy spun fire through the dark. The air shimmered with heat and motion. It was wild, beautiful, alive, and I thought, this is what youth looks like. Fearless, fleeting, brilliant. I didn't need to be 20 again. Just being there, witnessing it, was enough. Another evening after class, I drove alone into Arches National Park. The plan was simple. Meet the group at the trailhead and hike up together to Delicate Arch for sunset. Along the way, it kept stopping. A moon framed against balanced rock. Light spilling across stone like fire. Every turn was a photograph waiting to happen. When I reached the trailhead, I thought the others were behind me, so I waited. 5 minutes, 10, 20. The desert was quiet, too quiet. And that's when I realized they had already gone up. Part of me wanted to turn back. It is not smart to hike alone. My training drilled that into me. But another voice said, you gotta go. So I did. The trail climbed fast, the air thinned, and my legs burned, and the younger versions of me, the ones who used to race up mountains without thinking, felt very, very far away. Still, I pushed on. Somewhere near the top, I must have taken a wrong turn. Suddenly, the cairns were gone. The path vanished, and panic crept in. How dumb could I be thinking I could do this alone at 65? There's an old adage I tell my medical students to do when faced with a patient crashing. First, stop and take your own pulse. So, I stopped, breathed, listened, then turned back and retraced my steps and found the trail again. Maybe that's life, getting lost and then finding your way back before the light disappears. When I reached the arch, the crew was already there, basking in that impossible golden light. It was breathtaking. I thought about what Mylo, Navajo Mylo, had shared in class that day about his grandparents telling stories on the reservation. How every tale was a thread tying people to their land, their ancestors, their purpose. He said the land remembers if we keep speaking its stories. I try to do that, to honor this moment, this place. Sure, Delicate Arch has been photographed 1,000 times, but never by me. Not on this day, not with this heart. This was my story, my way of saying I was here. Before dawn, I started the drive back toward the airport. The road wound around the Colorado, headlights tracing the river's edge. Then, as the sky began to lighten, indigos gave way to pinks, and the colors of the desert came alive again. It felt like the desert was saying goodbye, reminding me that even after the darkness, the world keeps finding its ways to glow. A few miles later, I stopped at a ghost town. Old cars and buses scattered across the sand, paint peeling, colors faded but still defiant against time. I stood there a long time, thinking about how everything leaves something behind. Even when the engine stops running, there's still beauty in what remains. At 65, I think about legacy more than ever, about the kind of story that survives us. For years, my work in medicine told one kind of story, the story of helping, of fixing, of saving. But this is different. Photography, storytelling, they don't save lives. They remind us how precious they are. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough. I used to think the best story I'd tell would be the one through my camera. But now I know it's the one that will be told through my children, my grandchildren, the patients and families whose lives touched mine, and the images that will outlive me. The desert has a way of stripping you down to what's real. It makes you stop pretending you have forever. And in that honesty, there's peace. There's still more time and still more to tell. Until next time, and remember, keep chasing light, keep chasing the wonder, and keep chasing the awe. Take care.